Okay, guys, so I'm going to do kind of like a tutorial of three different things. Um, how to use your iPad with Zoom, which is nice for like being able to write stuff down. It's mostly helpful if you have an Apple Pencil that you can use with your iPad. I'm also going to be using Notability when I do that. So I'll be going over what is Notability and how you can use Notability, not in great detail because I'm not an expert, but just in the way that I use it. And then last but not least, how to just record a lesson on the iPad itself. So not using Zoom at all. Just if you wanted to like pre-record your lesson so that kids could watch it as a video, just think of it as like an updated version of having a dock camera. So if you have a dock camera and you prefer to use that, you don't need to watch the last part of this video. You can just use that. So let's start with Zoom and the iPad. So you're going to open up your Zoom session. At the bottom of the screen, it says share screen. Now you will have a couple different options. One of them will be whiteboard. One of them will be iPhone and iPad with AirPlay. Another will be iPhone or iPad with cable. If you're having problem connecting via AirPlay, then I would click on the via cable and hard connect it to your computer. So I'm going to select iPhone, iPad with AirPlay, and then I'm going to click share. And what's going to pop up on the screen are instructions for what you're supposed to do. So step one is you need to be connected to the same Wi-Fi network on both your computer and on your iPad. So my Comcast, for some reason, comes with two different Wi-Fi networks, and I made the mistake of my iPad was connected to one of them and my laptop was connected to another, and they wouldn't talk to each other. So the first thing is you just want to make sure that they're both connected to the same network. Once they're connected to the same network, you're going to do screen mirroring. So this is a nice feature that they have added. So you drag down from the top corner and a little control center pops up. And in the middle here, there's an option to do screen mirroring. So you tap on screen mirroring, and then it comes up with a list of the different TVs or smart devices that you can connect to. What's nice is it'll actually say, so mine doesn't just say my laptop, it says Zoom dash Danielle's MacBook Air. So you know which one to select because it's the one that says Zoom. So then from there, your iPad will pop up on the screen. I'm going to tap the middle of my screen once, which will make that window close, and I'm going to tap it again and again. Now you can just see my actual iPad. Now, I don't actually just share my iPad home screen with my students. What I usually have prepared ahead of time is this app at the bottom here, this blue app that I'm selecting right now. So this app is called Notability. Some people like to use OneNote. It really doesn't matter what you use. It's almost just kind of like Microsoft Word. Like it's an app that you can do to do word processing. Well, Notability is an app you can do to record yourself doing lessons. You can basically pull up a blank whiteboard using it. I like it because it has a lot of features that I really like. So you can upload note templates. So for example, I'm going to try to find here. This one I think is blank. Yeah. So I can upload my notes for a particular lesson, and then I have a couple different, up at the top, you can see I'm selecting different objects. So I can write with a pencil, which I can do in varying thicknesses and varying colors. So I can pick a small thickness, which it just helps when I'm writing so that it looks a little bit more accurate. So like 3 + 4 is 7. You can also pick different colors, which is nice if you're trying to emphasize something. Say, look here at this. There's also a highlighting option, and you have different highlighting colors as well. Now, this would be actually something that I would use uploading my pre-filled in notes. I would actually use this when I'm recording like a video lesson, not on Zoom. When I'm on Zoom, typically when I go to share my iPad, I actually will just pull up. So in Notability in the upper right-hand corner, you have a option to make a new blank note. In the upper right-hand screen of this one, I can select utilities, I can select paper, I can make graph paper, you can make lined paper. It's just nice. So if I'm doing like a tutoring session from home for a student that needs help, if I'm just answering questions off of the homework, I'll pull up a blank page like this. And again, 3 plus 4 is 7. So I can just be answering questions on the fly. I can also pull up, so I have scanned in and saved as a PDF the textbook pages. And so if a student's like, I have a question on 7.6, number 6, I can pull it up here, see what it is. I can flip back and forth to that blank piece of paper to answer that question. So I really like this. Notability also, if you can see, has a little recording option. I don't actually use that recording option. I use the built-in recording option of the iPad, but I mean, you could use that recording option as well. I like the iPad recording because it enables me to show you everything that I'm clicking on and doing, whereas I think the Notability record doesn't allow you to see the whole screen. It's just inside Notability itself. So anyways, yeah, coming back, all of these files were really easy to upload. Essentially, if I go, for example, if I were to open up the Safari window and I go to School Loop and I go into my locker and I have these already saved in my locker, or I go into my Google Drive, I press this little export button here at the top right hand corner, and this window pops up and I can click on copy to Notability. It'll ask me if I want to create a new note, and then I just click import, and bam, I've got my PDF uploaded and ready to go. I can use my filled in key to talk kids through the lesson, highlighting the different things that I'm doing. I can also use a blank note packet to write it all out if I want. It's really up to you. You also, as you guys can kind of see, you can create these different folders on the left-hand side. So if you wanted to like split it up by chapter or whatnot, you could do that as well. In the upper left-hand corner, you'll see there's an export option. So you can actually export these once you're finished to Google Drive or to any number of places. But I really just like being able to use Zoom with even like a blank page or my blank notes to explain like a homework problem that the students didn't understand, or to walk them through a particular question on the notes that they didn't get by watching the video lesson. I don't actually use Zoom plus my iPad here to teach a full-on lesson, although I think you probably could. I prefer to pre-record my lessons on the iPad, have them watch that, and then we use the Zoom sessions to talk about questions that they had or anything that wasn't clear. So that's the end of the demo of the iPad with Zoom and what exactly is Notability. You just got to play around with Notability to kind of like learn how everything works. Got a little eraser tool. The last thing I'm going to go over is how do you record a lesson on the iPad. So I keep mentioning, you know, I don't use Zoom to actually teach lessons. So I'm going to show you. So I'm going to click stop share, and that will take away my iPad. And now I'm going back to just, hello, me in person. So when I go to record something on my iPad, it's pretty straightforward. You're going to need either Notability or OneNote or something that you can write on, and you're going to need to pre-upload whatever your blank note packet or note key is, whatever it is that you're going to talk about. So let's just say for a second that I'm going to teach this lesson. So I want to record everything that happens on the screen. I want to record my voice. I want them to be able to see, like as I scroll, I want them to be able to see all of it. So the way to do that on your iPad is in the upper right-hand corner, similar to when we did screen share. You're going to put your finger in the upper right-hand corner and drag down diagonally, and it'll pop up this menu here. This control menu, you can actually change it. So if you look on the lower right-hand corner, I already have the record feature, but if this is the first time you're doing it, it won't be there, which is really weird and confusing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the home screen. I'm going to click on settings. I am going to go to general, control center right below it. So I'm going to click on control center and customize controls. It's really the only thing in the menu. Now I already have screen recording, so I'm going to delete this so I can show you how to do it. Okay, these are all of the things that you could have pop up in the menu when you drag and drop. These bottom ones are hidden. These are the ones you can currently see. So in addition to camera, home, voice memos, I want to add screen recording. So it's down here towards the bottom. So I'm going to press the plus sign. It's now up here. So I'm now able to use screen recording. So I'm going to go back to the home menu, go back to Notability. I'm ready to record. I'm going to drag. My recording popped up. Now the first time you go to press on this, if you hold it down, this pops up, and it's kind of interesting because the very first time you ever use it, this will be off. So the microphone will be off. So I got done with a 20-minute lesson only to realize the microphone wasn't on the entire time, which was infuriating. So make sure that your microphone is turned on before you press screen record. So then I'm going to press screen record. I think I'm going to press it. So I'm going to press screen record. It's going to start counting down. And then in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a little like red eye. So it means it's recording. It's recording your voice. It's recording everything that you write, that you say, blah, blah, blah. Here's my lesson. And then when you're done, you press the upper right-hand corner and it'll say screen recording, stop the screen recording. So I want to stop. Now, I will say this, what's nice is this gets transferred automatically to your photos, and then you can just export from there to Google Drive, to School Loop, to whatever you want. However, you can't stop and restart it. So it doesn't let you edit. So it's kind of like you got to go through your whole lesson in one shot. If you want to be able to start and stop, I do know that the notify record option lets you like start and stop. I do know that, you know, in iPhotos, when the recording saves, you can edit it in there. I just don't know how to start and stop without it just completely saving the entire recording. But in Notability, there is that record option that lets you start, stop, pause. So that might be a better option. It's just not one I've explored yet. So I hope this was somewhat helpful. If you have any questions, just email me, dalm@srvusd.net.